Hey, I think I'm live. I think I'm live. Peace, love, harmony, and light. Okay, make sure audio is good. Hey, I think I'm live. I think I'm live. Peace, love. All right. Yep, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. All righty. So yeah, just gonna give you guys some time to chime into this. Let's get some people. Let's get some people up in here. All right. While I secure this, let me make sure that I'm good. All right. Hold on for a second. Hey, 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 peace, Tyrone. Was good, was good. Harmony and light. Okay, make sure audio is good. Hey, I think I'm live. I think I'm. All right, sound is good. Sound is good. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So we good. We good. We good. Um. All right. Damn. Where's give me a second, guys. Let me just I know sound is good, but I'm just adjusting myself here for a second. All right. Give some more people some time to chime in before we proceed. Those who actually miss this feed, they will be able to go check it out after. But I finally caught you from the jump. Indeed, indeed, indeed. That's what's up. That's what's up. Peace and love to each and every one of you. We're gonna go in today into a few things. All right. Much respect to all the Aborigines, all the American Aborigines first, and all the original people of the earth. You know what I mean? Right now, this has to be a global initiative. You know, the unification of the original man and woman. You know, we are facing, destruction. You know, it's been that way for a minute, but I've been spending the past 2 days catching up on your videos. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, family. I appreciate that. I always ask, that you guys share the information. And a lot of times, I will continue to ask you to, research the information. Don't believe anything that I say. All right. For me, even before I internalize anything, I go outside of myself and I study, I search, and then after searching, I research. I just don't look at one source and say, "Hey, I have found the truth." I cross-reference. I put a lot of work into this, and once I do that, then I do what's called in search. Does the information resonate with my spirit? Does it resonate with my soul? Does it resonate with the I am? And that's how I operate. So when I put information out there, I will let you know that, hey, that information, I don't know what it is, but for the most part, what I've been putting out, I've been doing some in-depth, research on that. So definitely the information is solid. And a lot of times, we tend to look at information from an emotional standpoint, and people take it personal. But I always say that, to me, it's not personal. The only thing that's personal to me is the fact that my people are hurting. The fact that my people are being abused, my people's rights, are being infringed upon, and they think that they don't have a choice, because there is this quote unquote, you know, authoritative power, that's forcing us to do things. Now, it may seem that way. It is being presented that way. It is being promoted that way. It is being taught that way, that we have to obey, but only slaves obey. I'm going to repeat myself. Only slaves obey. And being a slave in 2018 is voluntary. Now, there may have been a time where it was forced on a certain demographic, of people, even we, the American Aborigines. Yes, some of us were enslaved, and we were taken into different parts of the world as well. And that's a fact. But in 2018, the form of slavery that we are all facing, it's all voluntary. Okay, it's all voluntary, meaning that nobody's putting a gun to your head. All right, nobody is putting a sword to your gut. All right, nobody is pulling a pregnant woman to the side. Peace and love, brother or sister. Nobody is going to a pregnant woman and literally cutting her sternum, and pulling the baby and stamping on the baby's head to inject fear into other pregnant women. Now, that's what our people experienced in the past. But in 2018, that's not happening. What's happening in 2018 is the mental slavery, okay? The spiritual enslavement of the people. And when I say spiritual, what I mean by this is they are teaching you religion and beliefs and ideologies outside of what's already inside of you. What we all have to realize is that the Most High brought us here fully equipped. And that's the truth. You see, there is a thing called parents, and there's a thing called guardian. All right, Dark Horse Peace. And I'm going to explain the difference to you. All right. Parents come more from an authoritative perspective, meaning that it's more from the slave colonial colonizers' idea of what parenting is. Okay, if you don't do what I say, I'm going to whoop your ass. That's called parenting. But we didn't come here. Okay, let me rephrase that. Our children didn't manifest here for us to be their parents. Our children manifest here for us to be their guardian. And there is a major difference. Okay, there is a major difference. Okay, parents tell children what to do. Okay, if you don't do this, I'm gonna do that. That's a threat. Okay, that's a threat. And when you are threatening people, especially when what you are threatening them, you threatening them to do, it doesn't resonate with their spirit or their soul, then that's infringing on their free will. So therefore, that is not righteous. However, we are to guide our children because we all came here fully equipped. A full, like, when you go buy a car, right? And that car is fully loaded. You ain't got to do nothing else to it but take care of it. That's what we are supposed to do as the guardians of our children. However, the colonial system taught us parenting. Parenting. Remember, they don't call you parents, okay? It's always a legal guardian. So again, I am showing you the language that's being used. The language that's being used to enslave you and your children. Okay? I mean, it's word semantics, but we have to learn the language. Again, everything is about legalese. Those things are about legalese. Legalese is a complete different language that the regular average person don't speak. They think they speak it. It sounds like English. You think you're speaking English, but it's not. Because when you are in that world, the legal society, it's a society. And you don't have to choose to be a part of it. It's a voluntary system. And whenever you get an invitation, you volunteer yourself to go to be a part of that system, and you go play a game that you have no idea what you're playing, and then you get abused. Now, how can I prove this? Let us step into nature for a second. You never see animals forcing their children, okay, or their babies, whatever you want to call them, to do anything. They guide them. They guide them. Now, if the child or the baby is persistent, all right, or insisting on doing what they have to do, guess what? The mother or the father just watch and let them do them. Okay? And if they happen to fall in some, sinking sand or on a branch and the branch broke and they fell in the water, then the mother or father would try to come save them. But at that point, I'm certainly sure they would have already learned their lesson. All right? We do things differently because of what we were taught. Everything that we do, okay, it is something that was imposed upon us from the moment we came out of our mother's portal, from that very first day, okay? Even before you made your presence into the physical world, when you were still in that spiritual realm, connected to the umbilical cord, your mother and father was talking to you, already telling you what you're gonna be, who you're gonna be. I hope it's a girl. I hope you're a boy. They start buying clothes even before they know the gender of the baby. They start planning your whole life ahead, what your husband, your wife is gonna look like. Nowadays, what a guy's boyfriend is gonna look at. You already know how this is messed up. But the point I'm trying to make is the life that you're living right now, how much of that life is your life? And it's not something that was perceived by or from somebody else. Okay? The people that we entrusted in the spiritual realm, okay, to be our guardians here, they have failed us, you know? And the truth is, I have failed my son. And the reason why I'm saying that is even if I was a great dad in my son's life and giving him the knowledge, you know what? I was playing more of a parent opposed to a guardian. And people are rebellious by nature to what's called parenting because it's a concept of the slave master. Automatically, we become rebellious because it's against our spirit for people to tell us what to do, opposed to guiding us. Well, you know, son, well, you know, daughter, I know you want to do this, but what about this? What you think? Have you thought of those consequences? Okay, if you do this, this might happen. But if you do this instead, that might happen, and this could happen. Opposed to be like, well, don't do this, don't do that. If you do, I'm gonna whoop your ass. I'm gonna do this to you. I'm gonna do that to you. That is the same idea and concepts and ideologies that the slave masters used. And people rebelled naturally. And therefore, that form of rebellion is instilled in our DNA. So when our children are being rebellious, it's not because they are not good children. It's not because they are bad children. No, it's because we are taking the stance of being a master opposed to a guardian. What do I mean by all this? Where am I going with all this? The point I'm trying to make is everyone has free will. Okay? We didn't choose our children. Our children chose us. And again, those things I could prove because so as above, so is below. Meaning that everything has to manifest in the spiritual realm even before it manifests in the flesh. So anytime you manifest in the flesh, that means everything was already pre-planned in the spirit. It was already worked out. And then the physical body, which is matter is slowed down. So it takes its time to manifest. That's why in the Bible, again, the allegorical Bible, because I like to make my stance on that, making sure when I quote the Bible, people know that it's allegory, okay? It's symbolic. It wasn't meant to be taken literally, all right? But I use it as a reference, but I like to make sure that my stance on that is quite clear, okay? So even in the so-called Lord's Prayer, it says, our Father who art in heaven, and you know my stance on that. If you have a physical mother and father, you got to have a spiritual mother and father. But it says in the Lord's Prayer, right? Our Father who art in heaven, let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Meaning that so as above, so is below. Okay? Slaves, obey your earthly masters as you would your God in heaven. The slave is the body. The master is the I am. So the slave, the body, is supposed to honor and respect and obey the I am in you. Therefore, the I am has always existed. The I am is immortal. The I am is forever being. It has no beginning. It has no end. So therefore, even before our children came here, they chose their parents. They chose what type of, whose nose they wanted to have, whose ears they wanted to have. They chose that. And then these two spirits, which is the mother and the father, came together and said, okay, you know what? This young soul want to come through me as a portal, and this young soul want to use your sperm to fertilize that egg in me. So let's do this. It's a contract. Okay? We are going to go guide this young soul into its new experience. All that stuff is already pre-planned. All that stuff is already worked out. So you don't choose your children. They're not your children. In fact, they own you because they chose you. They chose you. So when you think you step into the club or the mall and you see, as a man, you see a woman, or as a woman, you see a man, you're like, damn, he fine, or damn, yo, she got a fatty. You know what I'm saying? Blah, 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 blah. And you go kick it, and then you kick in your game, and then the same night or the next week or whatever, y'all start dating and y'all lay down and have a baby, and you thinking you're the one with game. No, you're not the one with the game. The child already put that game in play. All right? They up there in the spiritual realm looking down at mommy and daddy making the move, putting everything in perspective because they already planned it out. Oh shit, here, okay, here daddy go. All right, daddy, that's what's up. Go ahead, get mama. I got this. Then in your mind, daddy's thinking, you know what, man, I wonder if I'm gonna get that. Then the young soul in the mental realm, in the spiritual realm, talking about, oh, daddy, you're gonna get it. I already set it up. You know what I mean? And then you get it, you tell your boys, yo, last night, thinking it's you, it's not you, it's the child. It's that young spirit. Everything is already set up. Okay? So they come here fully equipped. However, because of today's society, we were taught to start pounding all these external ideas into our children, into our new souls that came here to have their experience. Okay? Taking everything out of them and converting them. And converting them. Exactly. They are being converted. Because anytime you have a car, okay, that has everything, and then you change it, take for instance, put a rooftop and all that, you turn it into a convertible, it is not the same car. So the soul that manifests here from the spirit, coming here to have its own experience, now you are taking all that experience and suppressing it into your own ideologies and suppressing what the child already had in all its faculties. And that is a fact. You know what I mean? So we have to be aware of those things. That's why it's important to move more in the spirit opposed to more in the flesh. All right, somebody asked a question. What about the mentally retarded? Did they choose to be incapable, not trying to be funny or mean, but seriously do they? And that's, you're not being funny and you're not being mean. That's a legitimate question. I've had those questions before. And yes, they chose to come here and have that experience. Okay? For many different reasons. A lot of times when we think we have it bad, then we walk down the street and see a brother or a sister sleeping on the corner. Okay? Did they choose that? Yes, they did. They knew exactly when it was going to happen and they signed up for that. There are no coincidences or accidents. You feel me? Because it is said that one day in the mental realm or the spiritual realm is equivalent to 1,000 years. Okay? Because the physical has slowed down in terms of days 1,000 times per day. Okay? That's how much time the physical takes to catch up to the spiritual, because the spiritual has no time. Things are just always in the now. But because everything is so slowed down, okay, it takes time to manifest. Okay? So let's just say today in the spiritual realm is like 1,000 years. So a whole 1,000 years have already elapsed. And we're just experiencing it right now. So yes, those people know, okay? A young brother that gets shot in the street, that happens for a reason. They knew that they were coming here 2018, January 25th at 2 p.m. on such and such avenue. They know that they was going to get shot. Now, they may not remember, because that's part of the downfall of man, okay? To forget. And that's, again, is something that we signed up for. There are no coincidences. There are no accidents. But when you are in tune with your spirit, okay, you will see your past, present, and future life. Okay, you would get semi flashes of it. Okay, and you think it's a dream, but it's actually you. Sometimes, you know, you have dreams and whatever, and you see people chasing you and you're running for your life and you're always running in dreams, or you saving somebody. Those are things that you have already done or you will do. And sometimes you wake up frantic. Man, it's so real. Sometimes people have dreams where they actually wake up and they see the ramifications of the dreams through physical marks on them, because this stuff is real. It is real. So we have to know, again, how to get in tune with the higher self. We have to. That is the key. As a people, we spend too much time living in the flesh. We ignore the I am that's within. All right. And I always use that analogy of the car. If your car is parked outside, the car is not going to move. The car will get tickets, okay, from the traffic cops every single day, the same time. If you don't move the car is not going to move itself. Just like the body is not going to move itself. Okay. The spirit, the I am in the body, is what moves the body. So the flesh is the slave of the I am. All right. So I hope that makes sense. And again, I was going into all that to show you that we have free will. Everything that we do is voluntary. Okay. You have the free will to eat of the tree of life or the tree of death. Okay. The tree of knowledge or the tree of forgetfulness. It is up to you. It is up to you. You have the option to bite that apple. Okay, bite that apple so that your mind could be opened up to knowledge or death. It's up to you. You choose. You choose. There is no sky daddy looking down, judging us. That doesn't exist. There is no sky daddy sitting next to a so-called devil and saying, okay, you know what? Let me get this soul or this man or woman because they sinned. Or you know what? I'm gonna get this one because they are good. No, it's not a game. That you see, again, those are lies that are being told to people by religion and pastors and preachers and ministers and rabbis and whatever you want to call them. Those are lies. Nobody's sitting up there judging you. The truth of the matter is, the only judge is you. You are the judge of yourself. Because that's the way the universe is set up. Okay, that whatever we do, to every action there is a reaction. Whatever we do, we face the consequences of whatever we do. Deem it good, bad, or indifferent. It's already set up that way. It's a system that's in place. Okay, it's perfect because you are responsible for your own hell and you are responsible for your own heaven. Now, isn't that the most fair and just system? That nobody is judging me. Okay, I will go to a so-called heaven or a so-called hell based on my actions and my intentions. Man, that's perfect, because who's going to hold me responsible but me? But me. So that I cannot use an excuse and blame it on somebody else, or say somebody else is going to take the burden of my wrongful doings. And that's what religion is teaching. Okay, you know what? Do what you want. Man, go ahead and kill people. Go ahead and lie and cheat and do all these things. And all you have to do is just go in a confession box. Or on Sunday, just go to church and Jesus is going to take it all away because Jesus already died for your sins. Jesus already paid the price. What if Jesus paid the price? Then why he worried about me sinning? Well, quote unquote sinning. That means I could just sin because he already paid the price. So why is he concerned about that? Again, we have to ask those logical questions. Now, some people, well, how can you question Jesus or God? Well, yes, I'm going to question. Because if somebody is my parent, I'm going to question my parent. Because I would be afraid that my parents is going to take me into a burning building. But people are taught to be sheep. Don't think. Don't ask questions. Just do what you're told. Just do what you're told. And And again, if Jesus is so loving and Jesus is so kind and Jesus is so forgiving and Jesus do things out of love and not to get nothing back, why do I have to drink his blood and eat his body? You see, and people don't think what you are saying, but yet still, when our ancestors used to practice voodoo and do animal sacrifices, they call it pagan. But here you are eating the body of Jesus and drinking the blood of Jesus. And you don't see a problem with that because you're drinking blood. Who drink blood? Vampires drink blood. Draculas drink blood. But people are taught to be afraid. Again, is going back to when you were a baby. You came here connected. You came here with all your faculties intact, perfect, until they started contaminating you. Man, that's a fact. That's a fact. And anybody could try and prove me wrong. Go ahead. I'll wait. I'll wait. So any one of you that's listening to this video right now or will happen to hear it later, ask yourself, how much of your life is really your life that you're living right now? And it's not something that's based on what your parents wanted for you, your aunt, a cousin, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, school, whatever, even schools. What have you done? Or what part of you that everything is original, that came from within, without any type of, encouragement or any type of assistance from anything else? Because everything, there's nothing new under the sun. There is nothing new under the sun, brothers and sisters. Everything is a repetition of everything, okay? Or an improvement on something. Some people say, oh, well, I created this. I'm going to put a patent from that. Well, where did you get the ideas from? You got it from somebody else who came previous to your idea. So I don't know why people are putting patents on things, because you add something to it. Again, that's dealing with commerce. We live in a commercial society where nothing is organic. Nothing is organic. Nothing is original. Nothing is natural. Everything is made up. Made up. So we are made up babies. Made up babies. And you know what? I actually thought of something, call it crazy, right? But I wanted to do an experiment. Now, I don't know if it's still going to happen, if time will permit it, or the circumstances or opportunity would permit that. But one of the experiences that I wanted to actually do was go on an isolated island. Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be isolated, but go on an island, all right, into an isolated area, all right? Well, I have land in Dominica, so maybe, who knows, maybe one day, it might be possible. But the plan is, right, to work out a situation with a sister, all right? Because for me, I will only have children with sisters, okay? I don't take my rod and my staff and put it into any other ethnic group. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Me, an American Aborigine, I just want to deal with original sisters. You feel me? That's just me. All right, that's just me. Okay. Now, but I would like to take a sister, right, and go on that island or that isolated area, right, and we would have a baby. Now we would meditate first, okay, because we know that that baby has to manifest in the spiritual. So we would go into meditation, okay, and have that soul or that spirit or that energy manifest in its highest awareness, so to speak. In other words, a so-called Messiah, okay, an awakened child, if I may. And not when that baby is born, okay, or that baby takes its first breath outside of the womb, we wouldn't teach the baby any languages. We're not going to tell that baby what to do. And just let it grow up. Don't impose anything on it. And when that baby is able to speak or articulate itself, I wonder what would come out of its mouth. I wonder what its definition of so-called God would be. Would that baby have a name? for that so-called God? That's something that's always been on my mind. But is it possible to do it? I don't know. But that would be a great experiment. Because you see, that would be the closest thing to the truth. And that's why even in the allegorical Bible, it says, forsake not the children to come unto me, because the children, okay, the children are closer to the truth than we adults. But yet still, because we were taught to impose, okay, other cultures, other ideas, again, be parents, be slaves to let our be masters to our children. We don't give them a chance to be who they came here to be. Not every child came here to be a lawyer. Not every child came here to be a basketball player. Okay? Now, that could be in the script because they would have been forced to be that, because that's the only opportunity that would have been presented at that time. So again, it's still no coincidence. But it's because of other people's suggestion. Okay? But that's an experiment I would love to have, because I guarantee you that baby is not going to say the universal creator name is Yahweh, Buddha, Zeus, Jesus, God, Allah. I guarantee you that baby is not going to say that. It might have a different name or no name at all. It might just, what are you talking about? I am God because God is me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying. But anyway, let us get into, I have a few topics that I want to get into. All right. As the Aborigines, we have to realize that a great injustice has been done to us. Okay. That's right, Tyrone. Absolutely correct. Okay. As Aborigines of this land, a great injustice have been done to us. All right. And a lot of times for the longest while, this, so-called, classification of or class of people called Black people, they are chasing reparations. They are chasing the 40 acres and a mule, and they just can't seem to get it. Okay. Ironically, other ethnic groups such as the Irish, the Jewish, and even the Chinese or the Japanese, the Mongolians, okay, everyone seems to be coming into our land and getting some form of reparation. But the original people, okay, that have the allodial title, that have the natural birthright to the land, they don't seem to be getting anything. As a matter of fact, they're getting something, but what we're getting is bullets, jail time, oppression, forced to assimilate. That's what we are getting. Why is that? Why is that? And the so-called leaders that you entrust in this so-called politics, when I say politics, they know what's going on, but they're not doing the right thing, because you are volunteering yourself. As you could see, one of the tribes, well, I think a few of them actually did, but one of the ones that was broadcast was the Lalakea tribe in Australia. The Lalakea tribe got back their land after fighting for 37 years. How long have we been fighting? How long have we been fighting? I guarantee you it's definitely at least 3-4 times 37. But the Lalakea tribe in Australia, and you could look it up, don't take my word for it, don't believe anything that I say. The Lalakea tribe got back their land because they maintained from the very beginning of that fight to the end of that fight, to the end, to until they got victory, that they were Australian years. But our people will not take from the book of people who have done it before and have been successful before. Malcolm X said that you are the Aborigines, but you don't like being called the Aborigines, because we like to go with the status quo. Everybody want to be black and proud and Black Lives Matter. Well, guess what? Black lives don't matter because that don't exist. So that means you don't exist. And again, it may sound like I'm beating a dead horse, but I have to drive that home because that's your downfall. You are calling yourself something that you are not. You're calling yourself something that doesn't exist. It only exists in a paper world. It doesn't exist in real. It is not real. It is not organic. It is GMO. Just like how a lot of y'all out here smoking this GMO weed. You think they're going to make what's so-called weed legal? You think they're going to make that legal for y'all? No. They getting ready to poison you. You don't realize that the plan is to exterminate the original man. Yeah, Will, you could, you have my information, brother. You could always, send me an email. That's fine. Okay. Oh, and talking about that, the link is for the book. The link for the book is below. For those of you who ordered your book yesterday, I sent it out in the mail today. All right. So once again, thank you. All right. I guarantee you'll love to read it. It's a lot of powerful information. For those of you who don't know, you could get my book. The link is below. Follow, go to the website. All right. Newsflash. Everyone's a slave unless powerful. Again, I'm going to teach you how to be a man and a woman and how to free yourself from the beast. Get out of her. It says so in the allegorical book. But it didn't mean that literally. Okay, it's a spiritual thing. It's internal. All right. But I'm going to stay on track here for a second. So we have all these different doctors like Dr. Boyce Watkins and all this other, some other doctor. Supposed doctor. On many occasions, when I've seen this Boyce Watkins character, okay, doing videos and calling all people black, and I put in the link, oh, we're not black, they ignore that. You know why? Because they are cashing in. And everybody think, oh, well, you're doing great. Thank you, doctor. We're going to get this. And no, you ain't going to get jack. The only people that's going to get paid is the people who are calling you black. Because they signed a deal with the devil. Okay? They signed a deal with the devil. So, yes, it's the people who look like you that's going to take you out. Okay? And that's a fact. And if you go into the allegorical story, all right, of the 12 disciples, Judas was one of Jesus's, again, disciple. Who sold him out? Judas. But it was one of his people. And again, I'm speaking allegorically. Okay? I appreciate that, fam. Okay? Allegorically speaking, Judas was the one who betrayed him for 30 pieces of silver. But mind you, the disciples, again, in the context of what you look at it, if it's by astrology, then it represents the 12 zodiacs. But if we're speaking metaphysically, it is the 12 faculties in man. Okay, so they're not real people, just so you know. All right. And I'm going to do a series of video breaking down the Bible and what everything means metaphysically, the allegorical meaning of it, because it wasn't meant to be taken literally. Like I said, I'm working on a book right now, breaking down the Bible and the terms and the words in the Bible. And in each verse, when they say Jesus, what they mean and all that. All that's to come, because again, my goal is to free the people mentally, physically, spiritually, and help you heal emotionally. That is my purpose. That is my goal. And all I could do is provide the information, sow the seed, and the rest is up to you. So here you are with all these so-called scholars and intellectuals, but they are constantly calling you Black and African American, putting you on a whole different continent that our ancestors had never even been. Because they have you chasing the illusion of the carrot. What do I mean by this? And I'm gonna explain it to you. I'm gonna give you an analogy to break that down. It's like somebody is riding a horse and carriage, right? And the horse is going, man, 100 miles an hour, and they're on the carriage having a good time, enjoying the ride, right? And all of a sudden, the horse is getting tired. The horse is thirsty. But the person on the horse, they got to get to their destination. They are living life. But the horse is starting to complain. So what they do, they take a little carrot, right? And they put it at the end of a stick with a rope, and they have it dangling in front of the horse. And the horse keep running, 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 thinking it's going to eat that carrot. But it don't realize that it's the master on the carriage with the carrot dangling, and while he's moving, the carrot is going to continuously moving, and he will never get that carrot. It is the same thing with so-called black people and African Americans. Y'all are chasing carrots on a stick, and then the master is over there whooping your ass, enjoying the ride. Everything that they build and they do is on your energy, but you are chasing the illusion of the carrot. Oh, master is going to give me that carrot. Master ain't going to give you nothing. And if master happened to give you a little bite of that carrot, believe me, you're not going to get the whole carrot. Just enough for you to keep running. Just enough for them to keep riding you. And as soon as that horse is tired, it can't take no more, they're going to get rid of your ass. Go ask your job if you don't believe me. Because that's the mindset that they put you in. Once again, if you read my book, you'll realize that once they have your mind, they have your body. Okay? One of the Rothschilds said that, I don't give a damn who the president or the government is. Give me control of their money system, and I care less who the government is. I care less who the president is. Just give me control of their money. Well, let me ask you a question. Who controls your money? Who controls your banking system? That is who controls you. And all that stuff is in the book. So once again, if you fail not to study, if you fail not to research, if you fail not to get the knowledge, and most importantly, when you learn the knowledge, not to apply the knowledge, then whatever you get, you deserve. Whatever you get, you deserve. Brothers and sisters, nobody's forcing us. And I tell people, I'm willing and ready to unite with my brothers and sisters, okay? Because we have one common enemy. What people don't realize is this. We are tribal people, tribes within tribes, okay? Yes, we have the same mother, but we are different individuals, meaning that your mother have 20 children. Rob is not Peter, and Peter is not, Shaquana. Shaquana is not Debbie. No, but they all have the same mother. Is the same thing. We all have the same mother as the American continent, but we came from different tribes with different languages. Once again, Cherokee wasn't the people. Cherokee was the language. The Cherokee language. You feel me? So once again, like I said, I only wanted to clear up, and speak the truth about that whole Moor and Moorish situation. But there are Aborigines who call themselves Moors, and I respect them and I love them. And I'm willing and I want to link up with my brothers who call themselves Moors, who know that they are Aborigines, okay, with my Israelite brothers, okay, whatever, as long as you know that you're an Aborigine and you are righteous about uplifting our people and restoring our birthright, man, I don't care what you call yourself, because you have a right to self-identify. As long as it's not in their world, okay, then you could call yourself what you want. Shoot, you could make up a name of a tribe. That's on you. But anything that's within the paradigm of what they have on file, making you dead within law, then you shouldn't call yourself that, such as Black, African American, those terms. But then if you choose to do that, then if you want to be dead in law, then that's cool. If you only want to exist in a paper world, then that's cool. Do you? You have free will. And that's why I had to go and explain all this in the beginning of the video. You see, people think I'm just talking. Everything is for a reason. Everything that I say has purpose. Fire said, can you guide me on this whole certificate of live birth and how to start getting out of this system to save my family. Well, the truth of the matter is, I tell people the first step is it has to be spiritual. The first step has to be mental. It has to be in your heart. You have to know who you are. A lot of times you're trying to save yourself, you know the information, but your family, they're the ones that's going to take you down because they don't believe, they don't know, they don't care. So first, one of the first laws in nature is self-preservation. I've always said that. And that goes individually and as a collective. You have to save you first and then come together with those who already saved themselves so that we could save the whole. Okay? What we have to do as a people, we cannot allow any other ethnic group, okay, to be a part of what they're doing, because history have shown that anytime we invite other ethnic groups into our mix, they always disseminate everything that we do. They always destroy everything that we do because you don't realize that you are the target. Okay? The goal has always been to take away or get rid of the firstborn, meaning that the firstborn continent is the Americas. And that has always been the goal. So the only way for us to fix us is for us to tell other people, stay the hell out of our business and allow us to do what we have to do. Okay? We are going to make mistakes. Fine. We will figure it out. All right? Do not police our neighborhoods. We don't need you to do that because it is not in our best interests. Okay? Don't force me as a man that have a woman having a child to get your birth certificate. I don't want it. It's a benefit that I don't want because it is not beneficial to me. It's going to bring me harm. Okay? And as a man or a woman, you have a choice. You have a right to refuse any type of privilege that's going to bring you harm. Because we didn't create the government to hurt us. We created the government to protect our rights that we already set in stone. But they are abusing your rights because you don't know your rights. You don't know how. I suggest you get the book and learn that. And learn that. But there are processes. A lot of people speak of the authentication of the birth certificate. That's to make certain moves. Okay. Doesn't necessarily mean a couple of things. There are certain processes that you have to use or could use, okay, by doing the authentication. But the first step, okay, this has to resonate with your soul and your spirit. You have to talk to your family, cousins, uncles, aunts, people who do that. 1, 2, or 3 people that knew your grandmother or great-grandmother or heard something that they said that you was the Indian. That's all you need, okay? And those people are willing, when you put your paperwork together, they are willing to be a witness and sign and say, you know what, that is true what they are stating. That's it, 3 witnesses. It's that simple. Everything comes in 3s. The allegorical Peter had to deny the allegorical Jesus 3 times. He said, deny me 3 times, because everything has to be done in 3s. When you send your notice, if they don't respond, you send another one. If they don't respond, you send another one, and that's it. Case closed. Now the burden is on them. Everything is in 3s. There you go. You see, and that's what I'm saying. People refuse to come together. You see what I'm saying? And that's the problem. You see? So again, that's why you have to learn to save yourself first, because if we have to wait on other people to save us, then it's never going to happen. So I suggest, Fire, I suggest that you get your affairs in order first. Do you, okay? Do you get your affairs in order, and then you could start working on other people, because you will spend an entire lifetime trying to convince the people around you. And let me tell you something, man. The worst person to try to save is somebody who can't swim and who can't take instructions, because they will drown you as well. Okay? And they will drown you as well. I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, I know, like I said, you know, the information is pertinent. The information is profound, and you know, they might mess it up. You know, that's cool, but I hope that you know, they don't, you know, take away too much of the information for the people. You know, this is real. All right. So I'm gonna, as the Aborigines, there are a lot of things that we have to really, really get a true understanding of. So we're gonna right now get into what's called citizenship. All right, peace Aboriginal TV. We're gonna speak on, you know, citizenship, United States citizenship, and how does it correlate with the Indians and exactly what that means. Okay, because I've explained in videos, you know, for you guys what the United States is. Okay, and that's in the book as well. I have broken all that down. Now, being a citizen of the United States is an option. Good afternoon, Sherry. Being a citizen of the United States is an option. You have a choice to opt out of that privilege if you choose not to. It's a privilege. Okay, it is not a right, it's a privilege. And they can't force you to be that. They cannot force you to be that. Okay? Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Yes, I actually have spoken to a few people in the UN, and the truth of the matter is it's gonna take more than just me. Because you see, one man is putting in work and that's cool, but we need people. We need more people. And I'm gonna go into a few things as well, because like I said, I want to keep this video about 2 hours, maybe 3, because I want to give you guys a lot of information today, a lot of important information. All right. So if I do happen to not get to your questions right now, then please, you know, forgive me for that, because I really want to get into the meat of what I really want to, you know, talk about today. Okay, because I really want to break this down. All right, I appreciate that. Okay, so citizenship is a technical term, especially when it comes to being a citizen of the United States. First, you have to know what the United States is. I have already broken that down. The United States is only a 10-mile radius, okay, called the District of Columbia, and its territories such as Puerto Rico, Guam, and a couple of other little territories. Okay, Puerto Rico, rich port, where all the trust funds is set up, and that's being banked in the rich port in Puerto Rico. Okay, so that's where all the trust funds are secured. All right, so let us get this straight. So the United States, again, is a corporation that was created before 1776 of July 4th. There was no such thing as what we call, hey, the United States. All right, I don't know if it's a coincidence, but here's a little joke, right? I don't know if it's a joke. It may be funny, it may not be funny, so please do not misconstrue what I'm saying. But here's a little humor. All right, July 4th, right, supposedly is the independence, right? Well, I don't celebrate that, because I'm not going to celebrate your independence, and it was a result of, you know, you abusing my people and taking over our land. I'm not going to celebrate that. So there's no independence. I am not independent. Okay, anytime you have to charge me to go to leave New York and go to Connecticut, I'm not independent. That means I'm not free to roam and travel my land like my ancestors used to. And as the Aborigines, we got to stand up and put a stop to all that, because all those companies are private corporations. And here's a little something that you guys probably don't know. The United States don't own any jails. All those jails are private corporations. Okay, and they pay taxes to the United States government. It's a business. Okay, it's a business. And that's why they cannot put a man or a woman in jail. They could only put the legal person, because within true law, there has to be a remedy. There is no way in law that a man or a woman could go to jail. Prison, okay? It's a business. You have to realize that. All right? So when we're speaking of being a United States citizen, even if they're forcing you to be that, that's what they're doing. They're forcing you to be that. But as the Aborigines, you have an option, because it's a privilege. It's an invitation. But because people think it's the norm, everybody, oh, well, I am. Oh, well, I'm a United States citizen. Well, I'm going to prove to you that you're not. Because there has been enough videos to show that we are the Aborigines. There has been enough videos and enough information to show that we are the ones they call the Indians, because even the so-called natives right now, they don't want to be called Indians because they know that they were not the ones called Indians. All right, so we're going to take a look at the Indian Citizen Act, and we're going to break that down in relation to what it means to you. What does it mean to the Aboriginal man and woman? My sister, Sekhmet Ra, peace and love to you. All right, so let me share my screen real quick, and let me get into this right here. And we're going to look into the Indian Citizen Act. Give me a second here, guys. All right. Where do I have this? I got this somewhere. Okay, I always have this information here. Alrighty. Indian Citizen Act. Give me 1 second. All right. Okay, here we go. Alrighty then. We're about to open that up. We're almost there. Bear with me here for a second. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now I'm gonna assume you guys can see this because it's really huge, right? Okay, so the Indian Citizen Act. I think that was of 1924, June 2nd, 1924. All right. It says House Resolution right to the top right here. I hope you guys are seeing that. 6355. Okay. 68th Congress session. And that was Chief Clerk. That's the stamp right here. Okay. June 2nd, 1924, Department of State, Division of Publications. Okay. So that is a real document. Okay, it says 60th Congress of the United States of America at the first session begun and held at the city of Washington on Monday, the 3rd day of December, 1923. Okay, but it was actually passed in 24, but it's an act. And again, remember, guys, that an act is not real. It's an act. It's not real. Everything has to be done through acts because it cannot be real. It cannot be organic. But the actors who are playing those roles don't know it's an act. Okay, it's like Denzel Washington or Jamie Foxx in a movie, and they don't know that they are in a movie playing a role. It's the same thing that you are doing. You are on a big stage. Okay, you are in a big play, and you don't know you are the main actor. You don't know that you are the star. You don't know that. You don't know that you are acting because they give you a script. It's an act. It's not real. So therefore, you have a choice. Just like how somebody come to Denzel and say, hey, brother, here's a script. You know what? I only got $5,000. I want you to play that role. And Denzel have the option to say, hey, you know what? I like the script, but I can't take $5,000, man. I'm Denzel. King Kong ain't got shit on me, you know? But the point I'm trying to make is Denzel Washington have that choice to say no, because it is not to his benefit. So all these acts that they are passing, if it's not to your benefit, then you as a man or a woman have a right not to volunteer yourself or your person. It's an act, okay? So to authorize the Secretary of the Interior to issue certificates of citizenships to Indians, okay? Again, being a citizen of anything is to be part of that society, and that is optional because once again, like I told y'all before, the only thing that the Most High created was man and woman. The Most High didn't create citizens. The Most High didn't create Aborigines. The Most High didn't create Indians. The Most High created man and woman, and that was it. But we came up with titles and terms to identify ourselves as nationality-wise, okay, and in terms of identification-wise. But all those things are titles. All right. So being a citizen of anything or any country, so-called country or group, again, you have a right not to be part of that if you so choose. And the truth is, nobody should force you to be because they are infringing on your creator-given rights. But not enough people are implementing those things. So therefore, these people are abusing the power that we give them. It's a responsibility we gave them to protect our rights, not to abuse it. Okay, so let us read this here. I'm reading from here, okay, just so you know. Be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled that all non-citizen Indians, okay, born within the territorial limits of the United States be, again, the territorial limits. And as you could see, territorial here is in small letters, the T. It is not capital letters, okay? It is small, all right? It is not a proper noun. So therefore, again, it's pointing out that it is fictitious. It is not real. They are talking about it only exists on paper. Within the Constitution, if you look at the term territory, okay, you would see that again, the United States again doesn't own any land because that territory again is in a small t. It is not a proper noun, okay? And they are hereby declared to be citizens of the United States. Now that's a declaration. A declaration is something that's been announced, okay? They are telling it to the world. Let it be known that these Indians born in the territorial limits of the United States, it didn't say the Union States, it said the United States, which is only within a 10-mile radius of the District of Columbia. But let us just, for argument's sake, let's just say that it is all the 50 states. All right, let's leave it as that. Okay, it says, however, provided there is a provision, provided, okay, provided, that's the key word in this act, provided, okay, provided that the granting of such citizenship shall not, two key words, shall not, and shall, guess what, that word shall, again, brothers and sisters, you have to read with understanding. Shall could mean anything. Shall doesn't have a time limit on it. Again, wordplay. Typical example, I'm going to give you an example. If you say, Chief, if we live in a house together, and you say, Chief, I want you to wash the car, and I tell you, I shall. Did I give you a specific date? Did I tell you when? I didn't. I just said I shall. And if the next day come and you say, well, Chief, I thought you said you was going to wash the car. I said, yes, I did. I shall. I will. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times in those acts and in those codes and statutes, they use such words. And in declarations, they use such words as shall and will. Not must. Not now, not a certain specific date, because they cannot do that. It's unlawful. So they have to use this legalese term and form of writing to trick you. So when you see shall, what does that mean? Shall could mean any time in the near future. There is no definite or specific time. So it says shall not in any manner impair, another key word, impair. Okay, for those of you who don't know what impair means, let us go look at the definition of that word, because it's very important that you get the definition of these words. Okay, impair, definition, Google. All right, definition of impair, just so that you guys understand this. All right, definition of impair. Weaken or damage something, especially a human faculty or function. I'm going to read that again. Impair. Weaken or damage something, especially a human faculty or function. All right? So therefore, they are telling you, you are granted citizenship of the United States, provided that the granting you of such citizenship shall not, and shall means anytime, from time immemorial, meaning that it could be next year, 20 years from now, anytime, at any point, shall not in any manner impair, in other words, weaken, take away, or otherwise affect the right, not a privilege, the right of any Indian, not a privilege. There's a difference between a right and a privilege. Affect. Now let's look at the definition of effect. I mean, I know you guys know, but you know what? Hey, like I said, I like to explain things so that a baby could really get it. All right. So let me just go here and get that effect. All right. Effect. Have an effect on. Make a difference to. Okay. So that's what they're saying. So if making you a citizen will impair the right of you being an Indian to any tribal or other property. Let me ask you a question. Are we living our tribal traditions? Do we have all our property? No. So by default, you are not a U.S. citizen. So my brothers and sisters, you are nationless. You are homeless. Man, tell me how many people that's going to break it down to you like that. Go ahead and tell me. Aboriginal Wolf, what's good? I'm just saying, man. Patrick, I don't know what happened, but no, what you would have to do is when you go to the site, a few people tell me about the confirmation code, but I don't know why is that. But send me an email. I will send you my number because my link is my email is in the link below. I will send you my number and we could do it that way as well. Because you don't need a confirmation code all you have to do is just literally put in the information and not put a code. I don't know why it's asking you to do that. So send me an email and let me know it's you, and then we'll work it out. But my brothers and sisters, you see, the act, the Indian Citizen Act, because we know we are the ones that they call the Indians. So what they did was they passed an act. They declared it to the world that we are making these people citizens, but only, okay, again, there's a provision provided that being a citizen of this so-called fake entity called the United States, it doesn't affect or impair us as our rights as Indians or our property. So let me ask you a question. Is the projects that we live in, that's the property? No, when the whole entire continent is Indian territory, Indian country, do we have our lands? No. So guess what? That act is null and void. Are we living our tribal ways? Do we speak our tribal languages? No. So that act is null and void. So by default, you are not citizens. You are nationless. And that's why they could kill your babies in the streets and get away with it. That's why they could come to your home and take your children. Man, I hope y'all hearing me. I know you're listening, but I hope you're hearing me. That's the game that's being played on you because a lot of old people don't know how to read. Now, I'm not trying to be funny, okay? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just saying that just reading a book, they always teach us how to read and finish. Oh, you finished yet? Hurry up. No. You see me, I don't read to finish. I read to start. I take like about 2 hours on a whole paragraph. I want to break down every single word. And shall is a very tricky word. It's not tricky in the sense that I don't know what it means. It just means in the context that they are using it. Shall and will. Okay. I'm going to take you out on a date, girl. All right, cool. But baby, I thought you said you was going to take me to the movies yesterday. Now I said I will. I said I shall. 2 weeks later, baby, you still didn't take me to the movie. They got a matinee playing. It's like $250. Baby, chill, relax. I will, I shall, I got you. And that's what they are doing. They are dangling the carrot in front of you. And you will never get it. Because everything is shall and will. But it's optional. It's optional. You have a choice. So right now, you are not a citizen of the United States. So therefore, they cannot prosecute you. But you don't know that, though. The only way they could prosecute you is by pulling you into their jurisdiction, by you saying that that legal name, that first, middle, and last name, which doesn't exist, because I explained all that in the videos yesterday, it doesn't exist. It's not you. By you going and saying that's you. By you taking the pen and signing that name and saying that's you. That's how they got you. I appreciate that, Tino Francis. You see, my brothers and sisters, everything is technology. Everything is technology. All right. That's how they got us. They couldn't beat us physically. And I'm not saying that we were incompetent. I'm not saying that we were not intelligent. We were. But their deceptive ways is what got us. Because we are not a deceptive people. Okay? We are not a deceptive people. If all you know is good and love, and all of a sudden somebody introduced something opposite of what you know, that's your custom, it's going to throw you off, okay? Your equilibrium is going to be kind of off until you wake up and be like, oh, shoot, they got our land. Man, All of a sudden, we don't know who our God is. And again, I'm using that word God very lightly, because that's what they had to do. Exactly, Aboriginal Wolf. We always kept it real. They came, they gave us spirit, liquor that contaminated our spirit. That's why it's still on every corner today. Okay? And they gave us their concept of what religion or what God is. It's not that we didn't have religion. We had religion, but they had to give us religion. In other words, redo what we already had. And what did we have? We had spiritual awareness. Again, a symbiotic relationship with nature. That everything is one. Live and let live. But their concept is, I live and you die. And we don't realize that. Hey, peace, brother Star Strike. And we don't realize that. So at the end of the day, who do we have? All we have is us. All we have is us. Nobody else. And the truth of the matter is, they call America the melting pot. They did that for a reason. Because they know that our people, okay, are so prone to taking care of everybody else except their own, that literally that's what's happening right now. We want to make sure that everybody else is good except us. They will go take care of, our people would go just because they're getting paid a little more and go take care of other people's children better than they taking care of their own children. Man, I know y'all probably might think I'm lying, but I'm telling you, I've seen it. I always speak facts. So what we really have to do, again, every other ethnic group is doing it. The Japanese is doing it. And guess what? They're all Asians, but I don't see Japanese mixing with Chinese. I don't see Chinese mixing with Koreans, and nobody's calling it racism. Have y'all ever thought about that? Why is that? And they're all Asians, though. As a matter of fact, Caucasians are Asians. As a matter of fact, Africans are Asians, because they're all Asiatics. The only different continent is the American continent, the Americans. Because we're different. But they're all Asiatics. But they know the difference between their phenotype. Okay? They know the difference. So you have the Asians, right? And I'm talking about what we know as Asians. Chinese, Japanese, and Chinese, Japanese, and Koreans. I don't see these people doing business with each other and mingling with each other like that. Chinese are always sticking to Chinese. Japanese are always sticking to Japanese. And you have Koreans are always sticking to Koreans. Our people owned all the dry cleaning services. If you don't believe me, go look at the Jeffersons. Now the Koreans took it over. Our people used to own all the laundry mats. Okay? Look now. The Chinese took it over. Right? I don't know what the Japanese took over, but they're doing their own thing. And that's not a problem. Shoot, we go to Chinatown. Where's the Aborigine? Where's the American Aborigine town at? Where is our own? Do we have that? But every town on our landmass have a Chinatown. And we cool with that. I see Chinese go and only buy from Chinese. I see so-called Jewish only buy from so-called Jewish. And I was telling y'all about July 4th, and that little joke is a good thing I said that, right? And again, I don't mean it's funny, and that's why I don't celebrate that, because I'm not going to celebrate. I'm not independent. Okay, that's your independence from fighting my ancestors and taking over my land. So that holds no significance to me. Okay. However, think about it. July 4th, 400 years of this supposed slavery. 4, right? July 4th. And July. Get it? Jews lie. Y'all gonna learn today. Jews lie. I know that was kind of corny, right? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I just had to throw that out there. But the point I'm trying to make is that Chief Copper Fox, my brother, peace and love. All right. The point I'm trying to make is that we are living an illusion. Okay? We are living a lie. Nothing about you is real. All right. The mortgage that you have is not real. It's already paid for. That house is already paid for, but you are paying over and over again. Again, get the copy of the book. All that stuff is in the book. The link is below, because I'm not going to go in detail. I'm just letting you know. I'm just planting the seed. The rest is up to you. Okay. So I just explained to you that you are not a citizen. I just explained to you that you don't have a nationality. I just proved that to you. I just proved that to you. Okay. Let me see if I could post something else for you guys. All right. Let me show you. Definition. While I'm doing this, give me a second. Definition of I think that's how it's spelled. Nah, that's not how it's spelled. Okay, let me see if I could get that for you guys. All right, give me a second here, guys. Bear with me, okay, please. Thank you. Just to be a kid design. Always definition. Definition of for some reason it's not coming up. It's not. All right. You know what? I will get it eventually. Eventually, I'll get it. But so right now we're gonna go into hey, peace, mess check. I picked this up. I went into a Trini restaurant earlier to get me a bacon saltfish, and I had a combination of passion fruit juice and grapefruit juice. Man, it was off the chain. I'm telling you. So I had that earlier, but I picked this up. Okay, it's from the Caribbean Times, and it says. All right. I don't know if they have that in your local communities, but I know they have it in New York. Okay. And they have it in Brooklyn. All right. It says 2.7 billion immigrant detainee price tag. Okay. And it's ironic that everything is always in the open, but again, it's based on interpretation. All right. People have to know when they read things exactly what it means. It says the Caribbean Times, 2.7 billion immigrant detainee price tags, and it reads an investigative report by Michael Derrick Roberts, and it says the Immigration and Custom Enforcement ICE will spend an estimated 2.7 billion of tax money to detain and deport over 8,000 undocumented immigrants for fiscal year 2018. And the private prison industrial complex is in particular two major prison businesses. Oh, you see, prison businesses. Prison businesses. Prison is a business for profit, my brothers and sisters. So the jails is not a place where they put people who do wrong. No, they put you there to access your bond, to access your trust fund so that they could get paid. It's a business. It's a business. Okay? So all this immigration stuff and all that, pulling people and putting them in camps, again, it's a business. It's a business. It is corporations fighting against corporations to see who's going to be the biggest corporation, to see who have the biggest cojones. That's what this is all about. It's about ego. Which y'all going to learn today, though. All right? It says, it may come as a shock to most Americans that this is a very big business, and the majority of the prisons in the United States are not run by the government, but a conglomerate of for-profit prison companies that have been benefiting from the Trump administration zero tolerance immigration policy. Well, it wasn't just Obama. It wasn't just Trump, Obama, all of them, all the administration. Jails are for profit. It's a business. It's a business. And when we're talking about immigration, immigrants, okay, think about it. If I just showed you that they called us, I will get to that Aboriginal wolf in a second, right? If I just proved to you that you are not a United States citizen by default because you are the people they call the Indians, then what does that make you? It makes you an immigrant of the United States. So here you go, my so-called black brothers and sisters, African Americans. Guess what? You are an immigrant in the United States because you are not a citizen. So therefore, those FEMA camps, the 10% that those Mexicans are in right now, guess who the 90% is for? It's for you because you're an immigrant. Y'all don't believe me? Wait and see. You have no idea the trickery of this satanic, devilish system. Nothing about them is righteous. Nothing about them is righteous. And it's just a matter of time before they start pulling you off the streets and putting you in their damn camps. You're going to Walmart. You're checking in, but you ain't checking out. Aboriginal Lone Wolf said in 2020, that's what's going to happen to us if we put African American on the census, or black, or why fill out the census, period? Because they're going to know where you are if they want to come get you. Let them do them. But if you're going to fill out the census and put anything, put that you're an American Aborigine. Create your own box, American Aboriginal. Okay? Or if you want to be tribal, what your ancestors call themselves. Anion, Wea, Choctaw, Blackfeet, Arawak, Carib, all that. Put all those things in there. Create your own box. Don't let them put you in a box. Because that's to track all the slaves and all the immigrants and all the people who call themselves black and African American who don't know that they're nationless. And when they show up at your door, ice, ice, baby. Oh, they ain't coming to put ice in your hot drink. No, they're coming to take your ass to the camp. All right? And let's stand by their law, but use our right names. Sleeper Waken said, there is no such thing as right names, and it is not their laws. The legal system is what they are in control of. We are the law. The original people, we made the law, but we just don't know that. All right. So just wanted to touch on that whole immigration thing. Let you know it's about business. This has nothing to do with people being here undocumented. It has nothing to do with that. And just for the record, all you people that's from the Caribbean, the so-called West Indies, you are American Aboriginals. But it's time that you stand up and unite on a united front and do this. Travis Pierce, they can care less what you check in the box on the census. They will do whatever they want. Exactly. That's why I said, you know what? It doesn't even matter. That whole census thing, it doesn't matter because these people have not honored any of those treaties. They can't be trusted. The system cannot be trusted. So to me, all that is a waste of time. It's a waste of time. And sorry, I meant to say abiding with their request using our originality. I mean, we don't have to abide by anything. Again, we are the natural custodians of the land. We are the true landlords. And I'm using that word Lord very lightly. Okay? We are the true custodians of this land. So we don't have to abide by anything anybody state. It is up to us to make this work. Okay? And I know exactly what you mean, Brother Travis. I feel the same way. The only difference with me is that I don't believe in death because death doesn't exist. But I think I know what you're trying to portray. So I'm not going to be too hard on you on that one. But I get exactly where you're going with it. There is only life. There's no such thing as death. All right? Now, so we spoke about that. And let us talk about rights versus privileges. Okay? a right versus a privilege. So let us go look at the definition of, it says, if you don't fill the form, won't there be a fine? No, a fine doesn't mean that I have to do anything. A fine is an invitation. A fine is not a bill. A fine is not a debt. They have to prove that I owe somebody something. Okay, so you could send how many fines you want. It doesn't mean that I owe you anything. The only difference is never ignore anything. Always address it, because if you ignore, then you acquiesce. When you acquiesce, that means that by refusing not to acknowledge it or responding, then you agree to what they are saying. Okay? But again, as a man or a woman, nobody could force you to do anything. Nobody has the right to force you to do anything. Okay? And the only time a law is broken is when you harm somebody, damage somebody's property, or defraud somebody. Everything else deal with the legal system, and legal is not lawful. Just so you know, to answer your question. Okay? And again, all that stuff is in the book. Go to the website, get your copy of the book, and all that stuff is broken down. All right? Now let us go look at some more definitions. Okay? I know I had that before. Let me see. Give me a second here. Give me a second here, guys. I'm looking something up, all right? Let me see if it comes up. Okay. I'm almost there, guys. I'm almost there. All right. So let me see if that's gonna come up. Let me see if I can find it in Black's Law, because sometimes it don't come up. Black's Law. Hopefully it comes up. Bear with me here, guys. All right. All right. Nope. Okay. Damn, it's not coming up. What the heck, man? All right. All right, it's not coming up. All right, so let me look at something else. All right, so let me just privilege. All right, definition. I'm trying to go in detail with something else. Definition of privilege. Okay, here we go. All righty. Okay. All right, so here we go. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, here we go. All right, so we got this. I wonder if I should go look it up in Black's Law. Let me see if something comes up in Black's Law, okay? But it says here, a Google search, that a privilege is a special right. Okay, a special right. Not a right, but a special right, advantage or immunity granted or available only to a particular person or group of people. Only, all right? Only to a particular person or group of people. Why can't it be just everybody or just people in general? Okay, it has to be particular, meaning that if you're part of a society, in other words, the United States is a society or the legal system, then you have certain privileges. Okay, but what you have to realize, that it's a grant, a privilege. It's a grant or a privilege. But what people don't realize is that privileges can be taken away. Okay, it's like you going to jail, right? And you know, they say, hey, you know, we're not going to put you on lockdown. That's a privilege. But if you do what you're not told, then they could take that privilege away. Oh, you know what? You've been good today. I'm going to get you have the TV. You could go to the gym. You could play some ball. But if you don't obey, then we are going to take that privilege away. Privileges can be taken, and they are always taken. So remember, everything is an invitation, but with the invitation, you get a privilege. Typical example, the Social Security number is voluntary. However, it comes with privileges. Paying taxes is voluntary. However, it comes with privileges. The privilege is I take $30,000 from you all through the year, and then on your tax return, I give you 10,000 back. Now, I wonder what kind of privilege is that? Shit, that don't make sense to me at all. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever at all. Okay? It don't make any sense. So know that there's a difference between a privilege and a definition. All right? Let us go to right. All right? All right. Morally good, justified, or acceptable, true or correct as a fact. Okay? To an adverb, to the most, furthest, or most complete extent or decree. So you see the difference. Morally good, justified, acceptable, true, or correct as a fact. That's a right. Rights come from the Creator. Privileges comes from institutions, societies. So all I'm just letting you be aware of, be careful of the privileges that you get. That's what the dangling carrot is. That's what the trick is. Hey, you know what? If you get a Social Security number, then that's a privilege. But just so you know, it's voluntary. But people miss that voluntary part. They go straight to the privilege. And when they get into the jam, then all of a sudden, hey, you know what? I know if you're traveling, you don't need a license. But if you get a license, this is what you could do. All those things are voluntary, but they just have privileges. And the truth of the matter is, no state, all right, Congress shall not take any right and turn it into a privilege. Let me see if I can find that out for you. Let me see. Congress. All right, let me just get that up here. Give me a second. Congress cannot turn a right into a privilege, and charge for it. And all that stuff is in the book as well. So, okay, there we go. All righty, let me see. I think it was U.S. Supreme Court, Murdoch versus Pennsylvania. The mere fact that the religious upon the record, it says that it cannot say that the state cannot impose a charge for the enjoyment of a right granted by the Constitution. Okay, there we go. All right. So once again, once you know the difference between the legal system and what's lawful, then you will have a better understanding of what all this means. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to show you that again. All those things that you're dealing with are privileges, all right? But your rights are natural. Okay, your rights are natural. So if you look at U.S. Supreme Court, Murdoch versus Pennsylvania, 319 U.S. 105 1943. All right, it says, I'm gonna go to what's that? Number 4. A state may not impose, okay, a charge for the enjoyment of a right granted by the federal Constitution. And the Constitution says that it's your right to travel. So getting a license is a privilege. They are charging for your right. They are turning it into a privilege and they are charging you for it. That's what they are doing. So again, know your rights. Know the difference between a right and a privilege. Know the difference between legal and lawful. Everything that they're doing is legal, but it's unlawful. Okay, because the government has gone rogue. The Constitution that we put in place, they don't abide by the Constitution. And it's up to the people to get back control and let them know that you are the servants and you have to abide by what we put in place. Okay? So I just wanted to share that information with you guys. Man, I hope you guys could use the information to your benefit, because it's the only way that, man, is the only way that this thing is going to happen. Okay, so like I said, I was going to go for a little over 2 hours. It's been a little over 2 hours. I'm going to take a few questions before I get out of here. If you guys have, I'm going to take about 4 or 5 questions because it's time for me to put some food in my system. So, you know, yeah, I got to stay, got to keep getting my grub on. You know what I mean? I'm going to take a few questions. But in the meantime, brothers and sisters, the link for the book is below. Go get your copy. All that information is in there. It's broken down in detail. And it's time to put in work, man. It's time to put in work. Oh, one more thing I wanted to, because I did say and more. So the and more I'm going to talk about real quick, briefly, is which I've already spoken of. But I'm just going to reiterate a little bit on that. In terms of, a lot of people have mixed feeling about the UN. Okay, we all know that at the end of the day, it's all politics. But sometimes allies have to be created. Okay, you know, that's just what it is in life. Sometimes we cannot fight the battle alone. And if certain things can and may work in our best interests, then sometimes we have to use what we can. Use what we, it's like going into a fight, right? And you have a little pocket knife and somebody have a gun. And, you know, you fighting and trying to prevent them from using the gun, and you happen to fall. And they're about to pop you, but you just happen to fall on a big rock, and you could use that rock to hit the person. Now, you using the rock, is that wrong? No, it's not. You know what I'm saying? The rock became an ally, even if it wasn't part of the picture. So the point I'm trying to make is sometimes we have to create allies, okay? But make sure that we know exactly who we are dealing with, okay? In what context we are dealing with them. And that's what I'm going to talk about. Yeah, I want to say, well, you see, again, all those things, as you could see, the move that Trump pulled, right? Trump pulled a move and said that the United States, the corporation, is not part of the UN no more. All right. Again, that's their choice. It doesn't mean that the people, again, you have to realize, brother, that people are private property. We cannot say that. I'm not going to say that only because I'll tell you why. I am going to say that. I'm not going to say that because the people here are private property, and no other country has a right to tell any other country what to do with their slaves, their personal property. You feel me? It's only when the people stand up and say that we are not your personal property, we are not black, we are not African American, we are the Aborigines. That's when the international world could come assist. Apart from that, they can't. So you have to understand that the position that these people are in. So again, let us not allow our emotions to get in the way. You have to realize the politics that's being played. You know what I mean? How would you feel if you have your slaves and another plantation coming to tell you what to do with your slaves? You're going to get mad as hell. You're going to get mad. So it's the same position that the fictitious United States is in. They are pulling all this, or making all these executive orders, all these decisions on behalf of their slaves. But the slaves don't have a say about it. And the people who are the Aborigines, they are slaves as well because they call themselves Black and African Americans. They have no nationality. So it's only when we stand up as the Aborigines and not just one man, me going to the UN or making calls or 2 people doing that. No, it's going to take a lot of us. You dig to really put this thing in motion. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Even if Trump made that move, again, he's making that move for the United States and the United States citizens. But seeing that you are not United States citizens by default, then that means the international platform or the international world could still come to your aid. Again, we have to look at the narrative, man. Let us not allow our emotions to throw things out of context. We have to look at it for what it is. Let us call an apple and not mix apples and oranges. Okay? Everything that's being done, it is strategically planned. Okay? They are well maneuvered. Once again, these people are very deceitful. They cannot be trusted. So they're doing things legally, but it's unlawful. Remember, the United States is a private corporation. May I Reiterate. So that means you are corporate entities. You only exist on paper. So all it takes to change your life or your livelihood is a pen and a piece of paper called executive orders. Executive orders. Now, what's an executive order? Let us break that down here for a second, because like I said, people just hear things and they don't break it down. Executive orders. Let us look at that. All right, let us look at that, because I want to show you exactly what's happening to you. Okay, definition of executive. All right, executive definition. Here we go. Give me a second here. Definition of executive. All right, let me share my screen here, because I want y'all to really see what's affecting you, what's happening to you, and you allow it to happen to you, because again, it's voluntary. You think that it's law. It's not law. Those are policies. They are codes. They're an act, and they're only put in place for actors, not real people. Okay, not real people. Remember, a man acting as a police officer, the man is not the police officer. He's acting as a police officer. So executive, okay, having the power to put plans, actions, or laws into effect. Having the power, okay? So in other words, a man is saying that I have the power to get a pen and a pad, and I'm just going to start writing things that's going to change your life, and you are just going to abide by it. The noun, a person with a senior managerial responsibility in a business or organization. The person or branch of government responsible for putting policies or laws into effect. But policies deal with statutes and codes. Laws deal with the Constitution. What's already in place. The people put that in place. Laws. Policies are put in place by non-living entities, corporations, fictitious corporations. And they have, if you just take away this, the E, and take away the E and the S, what do you have? You still have the word police. Police is the same thing. It's the police, policies, that's the same thing. So that's what's happening to you. Somebody that you gave power, assuming that is your president. No, it's the president of a corporation, but you call him your president, okay? And you gave him power, that executive power, all right, to do those things. Order. Let us look at the word order. So now that we know executive is, let us look at order. Definition of order. The arrangement or disposition of people or thing in relation to each other according to a particular sequence, pattern, or method, and authoritative command, direction, or instruction. This is what applies in this context. Executive order is somebody that you put in power, okay, that holds that authority or think they have that authority, okay, to command and give directions or instructions for your life through a pen and a pad. What you fail to realize is this, that no man or woman or entity have the right to tell any other man or woman what to do. So those executive orders, they are voluntary, but you think it's law. And of course, they're going to use the fear tactic because you don't know your rights. Again, the information is there. You do what you want with it. All right? They say knowledge is power. I take it a step further. The implementation of the knowledge is the real power. Okay? So that's the more that I wanted to break down for you guys. Okay? The pen and the pad is what's changing your life. Didn't they say an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth? Didn't they say if you fight with the sword, you'll die by the sword? Well, if the pen is changing your life, then use the pen to put your life back in order. That is the sword that's being used against you. So if you're dying by the pen and paper, why don't you use the pen and paper to save your life? So every time there's an executive order, you use the pen and the paper to rebuttal it as the Aboriginals. It doesn't apply. We don't volunteer. We choose not to be a part of that society. No, it doesn't mean that they're going to honor it. I'm not saying that, but at least they know. And now you have the option, or there may be possibilities of outside interference. In other words, the international community may come to your defense because now you are not private property. This has to do with public. So I hope all this makes sense for you guys, because I like to break it down so that a baby could understand these things. Well, you may say it's difficult to claim the land of our ancestors. I'm going to say nothing is difficult. Everything is possible with the proper planning. We have to strategize. We have to come together. Because remember, like I said, they have never beaten us one time in any physical war. Never. We have never lost a war. The only war that we are losing is the spiritual war, meaning that we are not aware of who we are, and the mental slavery. We are losing that war because people are enslaved mentally. But there's a natural order that things will be put back in order. They will. It's prophecy. It is already written. All we have to do is continue doing what we are doing, building, putting our affairs in order. Okay, not volunteering to be their slaves, letting them know that I am not your slave. I am a man, and I am a woman, made in the likeness in the likeness and image of the Most High, and that's the only Most High that I serve. I serve no man. No man has power over me. No institution has power over me. You got to let it be known. Otherwise, whatever they do to you, you allow them to do it. All right? So I'm about to conclude this video. I was trying to see if I could get at least 5 questions, but I guess I must be doing a hell of a damn good job. If there are no questions, that means that everything is quite clear. And that's good. That's good. Research the information. Once again, the link for the book is below. Get your copy. Study it. We have a lot of work to do. Let's do the work. Okay? Like I tell people, less is more. There's a term in, the movie business, okay? Less is more. In meaning that when you write a screenplay, a lot of times people write screenplays and they have all this dialogue. And then it kind of gets a little bit redundant and boring. But there's a saying, less is more. In other words, less talking, more action. Let people get the message through emotions. And that's what determines actors from actors. Those who could portray and play the role through their emotions opposed to talking. Because your emotion is what's being played upon. All right? That's what's being played upon. It's your emotions. And they got that. Exactly where they want you, they got you. All right? There we go. More action. Absolutely. All right? So let me get out of here. You guys appreciate that, Jazzy. You guys enjoy the rest of your strong continuation. I'm not going to say weak end because there's nothing weak about us and we are not ending. So I'm going to say have a strong continuation. And here's a little side note. Every time I rise, at dawn or at the sun, the rise of the sun, when I rise, I what I do is when I give thanks to the Most High and my ancestors and the universe. What I do is I say thank you for a strong continuation. You know what I mean? I don't say for a new day. There's no such thing as a new day. It's just a day. It's just a continuation. This whole life is a big continuation of the same day. Okay? But just different experiences based on the perception of the 5 senses. You see what I'm saying? And that's all it is. It's just a continuation of the same time frame, because again, in the spiritual realm, everything is just one. Time is the now. So literally, we are living in the now, always in the now, but being perceived in the five senses as different days. A days, they have you in a daze. That's why they call it days. Okay? The word spell. So here you are in a daze, and then you are thanking God or whoever for new days. So that's why you're constantly staying in the state of mind of the spells. So I have been doing a lot of self-work, breaking those spells within. You know what I'm saying? Breaking those spells within. So I don't say give thanks for a new day now. I don't do that. I say thank you for a continuation. And I ask for a strong continuation. Okay? Continued progress, continued success, continued awareness, continued health, physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And always asking to link up with the righteous ones, the people who are genuine about this, people with integrity, because we have to be very mindful what we ask the universe for. Chief, can you please do a show about the spell they have on us under by the words of use? I've done that before, but I could do another video, look up a few words, and you know, go into that. But there are other people. There's a sister, I forgot her name. That's done a great job on that. But you know, during conversations, I could definitely you know, speak of a few. You know what I mean? Definitely speak of a few. But remember, we are the ones that's putting ourselves in this situation. Okay, we are. You are in charge. Nobody else but you. All right. You are the governor of your own life. You are the king, the queen, the empress, the emperor. It's you. Okay. Stop giving other people our power. We have to stop that. Okay. And it's time that we start building from within. And when I say within, I mean within from within every context of the word, within your own self and within us, our own communities. Okay? Working, learning to work to build us and let other ethnic groups stay out of our affairs, because trust me, every time they get involved, all right, they always mess things up for us. So we cannot trust that. We have to do us. It is time for us to love us. It is time for us to do us. It is time for us to protect us. Okay? When a situation happens, let's not call the authorities and say, well, this black man, no, this American Aborigine, this happened to them, and we want to make sure that they are out. We want to make sure that whoever did that injustice is being held responsible. We have to put those things in context. All right? So, with that being said, like I said, I'm about to conclude this video, and you guys have a strong continuation. All right, continue to love, continue to uplift, continue to raise your vibrations, continue to raise your frequency. Okay, because you have to realize at the ending of the day, it's about the higher self and the lower self. Okay, it's about the higher self and the lower self. And the more we step down into our lower chakras, the more we will allow this beastly system to control us, which is the original man, the higher self, the I am. The I am is the original man. You feel me? Okay? There has never been a time when man or woman never existed, because we are God in man and man is God in the spirit. And I'm using that word God very lightly once more. I'm very mindful of the words that come out of my mouth, because there's power of life and death in my tongue. So I'm constantly giving my people life. I'm constantly giving myself life, positive energy, positive vibrations. And anybody who's doing otherwise, don't let them fool you. They are not your brother or your sister. Anybody who's out there promoting negativity, anybody who's out there slandering people, anybody out there who's breaking down people and tearing people down, they are not righteous. Don't let them fool you. They are doing it for personal gain. The flesh, they are weak, but they acting strong. They are not. They're just bullies. And I've dealt with bullies all my life, until me and bullies became best friends, because I whooped their ass, because I ain't scared of nothing or nobody. So you have to know that there's no need to be afraid. Death is not real. All right? Everything in life is a cycle, a continuation. Okay? It's either you're going to come back as an ascended Messiah, or you're going to come back as a slave and do it all over again. Me, I guarantee you I'm graduating this time. I am not going to repeat the 5th grade. You got a lot of grown-ass people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, and in their 20s, they're still in the 5th grade because they don't want to learn the lesson and graduate. They want to keep playing these foolish games. Tricks are for kids, and I am not a damn goat. I'm no kid. I'm a man. So I'm here to put in real work. That's what I'm doing. All right? So once again, man, I love y'all. And that's why I do what I do. Okay? Like I said, I don't do this for likes. I do it for the love of my people. And I know people can't make promises, but I've made a promise to myself that I will not betray my ancestors for nothing. Nothing. I don't care if they have to put me somewhere in a lockdown hole and cut my toes off one by one. I've already made up my mind. I'm going to endure the pain, but I'm not going to sell out my ancestors. I'm not going to sell out my people. I am willing to deal with the pain. And I know talk sometimes is cheap, but you know what? I'm willing to put it to the test. I ain't selling out, man. I cannot afford to deal with that burden, that spiritual burden of selling out my people. I can't afford to deal with that. I don't want to come back as a roach. Nah, I don't want to live that kind of life. I want to graduate. I'm going to graduate this time around. I could feel it. I know it. Ancestors have came to me in visions and told me you are initiated. So I know. I know. So all I'm just saying to you guys is this. Learn to connect. Learn to connect. All right? And there is going to come a time where we are so connected that we will be able to speak each other's thoughts because we did that before. And if we have done it before, we could do it again. And that's why they have to keep you so distracted. They have to keep your mind in a different state of mind. That's right. Many are called, but few are chosen. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? That's the natural high. I don't smoke weed, but I'm always high. All right. And I'm going to do a video about the whole weed thing and all those things and all that. I'm going to teach you guys some more ways so that you could learn to protect yourself from this legal system, from the beast. All right. And show you how to get out of the beast, how to protect yourself in the beast, how to be Jonah in the belly of the whale and not get eaten. That's what I'm teaching you guys right now. That's the real food right there. I'm giving you life and not death. All right. That's the true definition that I am my brothers and my sisters' keeper. That's what it means. And love is contagious the same way hate is contagious. But I want to send out love and not hate. Okay? I want to send out love and not fear. Because we are a great people, man. We have just lost our way. But people such as myself and all of you that's on here, I'm certainly sure you're going to help somebody else find their way. Let's just continue to plant those seeds. It may not resonate with them right now, but they will end up in a situation and they're going to hear your voice. And they're going to be like, damn, I heard that. And it's never too late. It's never too late. Okay? The only time it's too late is when you decide it's too late. The only time change will not take place is when you decide not to change. That's the only time. What does that mean? It means that it's always up to you. Don't allow these people to control your lives. Don't allow these people to tell you who you are. We decide that. And let's stand and defend that. Okay? Their guns and their tanks and their knives, that's not going to beat us. Because you see, once we wake up that DNA in us, all that stuff is, we're going to be indestructible. That's a fact. I mean, it gets a little scary sometimes. And sometimes I'm afraid of my own self because I know what we are capable of. And that's why they want to keep us so distracted. That's why they want to keep us so spiritually unaware, because they know what we are capable of. They know. So they have to contain you. They have to control you. They have to give orders. But let me ask you a question. When you go to the McDonald's window, right? And you put in an order, before they give you the food, what do you have to do? That's right. They got to pay you, right? When you go to a store and you got some clothes, okay, that's an order. Before they give you the clothes and put it in a bag, what do you have to do? You got to pay, right? Y'all get where I'm going with this? So if they're right, if they're writing executive orders, pardon me, I got a little excited here. Damn, I guess I must be on a roll, right? So if they're giving you executive orders, that means they are putting in orders. Why aren't they paying you? All right then. Y'all better get this damn book and really understand what the hell I'm talking about. All right. I'm going to repeat myself. When you go to a McDonald's window and you order some food, before they give you the food, what you got to do? You got to pay them, right? Because you put in an order. So why do you have the so-called institutions, the so-called president giving you orders and they're not paying you? Oh, I see. Guess what? You are the ones that's being fooled. Every order that's put in to any man or woman, they have the right to request, okay, just and fair compensation. You put an order in. Oh, are you ordering me to do this? Okay, fine. Well, this is my bill. You give them the bill. You know that? Use your mind. That first eye is open. All right? All right then. So, guys, I'm out of here. It's been real. Over 2 hours, almost 3 hours. Like I said, this is school. This is the true university right here. That knowledge. Know the ledge. Because if you don't, you're going to fall. All right? So you guys, once again, have a strong continuation. Man, go have some fun. Be safe. Look out for each other. Love each other. Protect each other. Uplift each other. Support each other. The link for the book is below. Get your copy. Let's do this. I'm working on a few other things, like I said. And it's a beautiful time to be an Aborigine, okay? It's a beautiful time to be an original man or woman of this land, all right? It's a beautiful time. It may not seem that way, but trust me, it's a beautiful time. The more of us that wake up, all right, and start honoring our ancestors and giving these people back their ideologies, giving them back their ways, giving them back their concepts, giving them back their gods. Take it. We don't want it. Keep your Jesus. We never had that. Jesus ain't come here to save us. Jesus came here to enslave us. Even in the Bible, it tells you that. And I will pull it up for you. But cognitive dissonance is a disease. No matter what you show them, they will never believe you. Never. But it's a beautiful time to be an American Aborigine. Okay? Go look at what's happening on the continent with our brothers and sisters in Africa. Africa is about to become the new China, because all the Chinese men are going up in the womb of these so-called African women. And you know that the lineage is passed through the woman for the land, because the land is the woman, right? So now they're owning Africa. Y'all better wake up and realize what's happening. Okay? So for all those of you who think you're Africans, why don't you go back to Africa? Because all of a sudden you will be called Chinese. Okay? You will be Black Chinese. Aborigines in America thinking you're African, going to Africa, becoming a Chinese or becoming Chinese. Y'all better wake the hell up and start walking and start running. Okay? Anytime an Aboriginal woman allow any foreign, ethnic group to enter into her, that is called conquer. That is the rapture. Raping your women, that's the real rapture. It has happened a million times, but it's all over the Bible. Or were people waiting for the rapture? Guess what, you dummies? The rapture already happened. Raping your land. It is the same root etymology. Rapture, rape, rape her. Y'all don't get it, huh? But y'all gonna learn today. They already raped our women. Raped her, rapture. It already happened, but they gave you a book. You here waiting, right? Let me ask you a question. If these people, and when I say these people, the beast, if the beast charges you for water, which is essential for survival, right? Or to live. If the beast is charging you for food, which is essential for living, and all that's supposed to be free, because I don't see animals buying food. I don't see animals paying for water. They are even charging you for air. You just don't know. Environmental tax. Uh-oh, chief, don't hurt them like that. They wasn't ready for that one. Environmental tax. In other words, you're charging me to be in the environment that my ancestors have always been. So you're literally charging me for air. Should I continue? So if they're charging you for air that you breathe, what make you think that they would give you a Bible for free to save you? Man, where are the people with common sense? Why do you think it's in every jail? Well, they stopped putting it in hotels, but it used to be in every hotel. Every jail cell that you go to, they have two Bibles, the Quran and the Holy Bible. Indoctrination. So I'm going to ask you again. If they charge you for water, which is free, charge you for food, which is free, charge you for the air that you breathe, which is free, why would they give you a Bible? They pay you, they charge you for everything else. Why would they give you a Bible? In other words, go to print. Do you know how much it costs to print a Bible? Do you know how much it cost me to print that book per page? Man, y'all don't even know. People don't even know. But I did it for you. And a Bible is a lot of pages. But guess what? They give it for free because they know the damage that the Bible is going to do. It will be more of a profit for them. Okay? It will be cheaper for them to print the Bible, give it for you for free, than to tell you the truth. Because that's going to cost them. The Bible is a small price to pay. But they give it to you for free, though. If in the physical realm, they are enslaving, murdering you, they are lying to you, they are cheating you, what makes you think they will give you a book so that you could be free at last in the spiritual realm? I mean, are people that sheep that they need such a shepherd that's going to lead you into a slaughterhouse? That's what the pastors and the preachers are, and the ministers, administering your property to your colonizers. Man, it's basic common sense, man. It's basic common sense. Nobody got to tell a baby about this except you, the indoctrinated ones. Let me ask you a question. Show me anybody in the Bible who had a Bible. I'll wait. Man, I'm shit. I better go take a break of water right now because ain't nobody going to show me that. Jesus didn't even have a Bible. The God in the Bible didn't have a Bible. Shoot. Moses, the one who went to the mountain and got the laws, didn't have a Bible. I never heard any one of them, any one of the prophets or disciples in the Bible say, you know what? Let us go to John chapter 4, verse 97, 47, 8. Never, and I know that Bible very well. I have never said Jesus in the Bible said, let us go to the Bible and let us look at the red part. Those are what I wrote myself. Nobody in the Bible got a Bible. As a matter of fact, when Jesus, the allegorical Jesus, went around preaching the gospel, which is the ghost spell, guess what? He wasn't reading from anything. He was speaking from the heart and the mind. That's where the Most High put the Lord, the L-O-R-E, in the hearts and minds of men. Basic intuition and common sense, okay? It is so common that it's not even common anymore. It's not. Like I told y'all before, we only have one sense, and that's the spirit. The five senses is external. The five senses is only needed to perceive the physical experience. We hear things, we touch things, we feel things, we taste things, and we smell things. And we internalize it so that that one sense, okay, could make sense out of it. But there's only one sense. Just like how there is only one eye, the first eye. But then now you have two of them on the outwards that's going to internalize things. Because you see, the illusion is outside of you. So you need more faculties outside of you so that it will make sense. But when you are dealing in the spirit, man, you don't need those five senses. They are irrelevant. It don't apply. Because the spirit sees things for what they are. I'm just saying. The spirit has one eye, and that is insight. The physical man has two eyes. It's called outsight, because you're always outside of your damn self. Because everything that you see, that's what you want. Everything that you see, that's what you need. But you're always neglecting the spirit, that pineal gland, always calcifying it with chloride and fluoride, always eating junk. Because you don't care about the I am in you. You only care about the I am outside of you. The physical man, the physical woman. Okay? My nails got to get done. The rims on the car got to be on point. Oh, I got to get the best stereo. Oh, man, this new phone is coming out. I got to get that. This Jordan is coming out. I got to get that. While you are abandoning the real you on the inside. It's like the body of your car is off the chain. But when somebody steps into your car, it smells, it stinks, it reeks. And nobody wants to be on the inside. Not even the I am in you don't even want to be in you. That's how contaminated a lot of y'all are. Even your own spirit is afraid of wanting to be in you. That's why sometimes it takes a little vacation and some other negative energy comes inside of you. A temporary host until you get back to yourself. Uh-oh, shoot. What happened? Where's the real me at? You think I don't know what I'm talking about? I personally know. I do spiritual work. And I'm telling you, one day, I was actually talking to a sister. And her sister had never gotten in touch with her real self. Maybe she forgot what it was. And I'm trying to explain it and break it down to her. And she just couldn't get it. And I started going in, and breaking her down until for one split second, she felt her real spirit. And she just started to cry. And she don't know what happened. She felt a new reality. For once she felt there was somebody inside of her. She had already lost that person. That person had already left. She became so evil because another entity, okay, came into her host. And I had to let her realize, no, that's not you. There is something else. But it was a challenge for me to bring that out. And when I brought it out, she cried. And she said, I don't, Chief, What happened? Who is this? I don't know. Y'all think I'm a joke, huh? I said, I ain't nothing to play with, man. For real. And I taught her how to get in touch with her higher self. But remember, there is always the adversary, which is called Satan. Satan is just the adversary. Satan is not some mystical figure or some dude sitting in a lake of fire with a red outfit and some horns and some ears talking about, oh yes, God, you don't want that. You don't want that one God. I'm gonna take it from you. No, that's fairy tale. That doesn't exist. Satan is just the adversary of everything that's righteous. That's it. Everything that's against the word is what Satan is. Okay? And the word and the truth is in your heart and in your mind. And once that's contaminated, you have been infiltrated by the adversary, which is Satan. It's all allegory. So therefore, that's where your free will kicks in. Are you going to allow the adversary to control you, or are you going to allow the word to control you? The truth. Truth has no barriers. There's no such thing as half truth and some truth. Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit of the truth. No. Tell me the whole truth, but don't tell me a damn thing. Because truth cannot be divided in two. A lie is a lie and the truth is the truth. You cannot serve two masters at once. You can't. All right? So at the end of the day, the only man and woman that's in control, it's you. It's you. That's it. It's your life. It is your temple. Okay? It is your state of mind. Don't allow any other governors to govern your state of mind. Get it? I live in New York. I don't have a governor. I am my own governor because I have my own state of mind. Because I'm not going to put myself in a box. So that's where it starts first. Okay? With the self. Healing self. Knowing thyself. Building self. Getting that fear out of self. Getting in touch with the higher self. I always ask my higher self to teach me how to be more like you. That's why the allegorical Jesus was always asking the higher self to be. Teach me how to be like you, Father. But I say spiritual parents because I know it's both. Love and light, lovely. Okay? So I honor both my mothers and fathers. That's what I do. I don't leave one out. And worship or give praise to the other. All right? So, guys, I'm outie. You guys give a shout out to each and every one of you, man, that was on this live feed. And for all those of you that's going to be seeing this video later, man, peace, love, harmony, and light to you. Positive energy always. Continue to grow, continue to build. Remember, the higher self and the lower self is what it's all about. Okay, everything with the higher self is all righteous, all spiritual. It's all that positive awareness. Okay, it's all love. Anything that's dealing below the lower chakra, it brings you down into the abyss. Okay, that's what gives the beast power. When they allow you to vibrate into your lower chakras, that's why all the chakras have a certain color. And they show you colors and all these different things. It plays on your emotions. You feel me? But I've done videos like that before, but I'll get into that again, some more metaphysical stuff. You feel me? But at the end of the day, it's all about you. If you go back and you look at the Sphinx, you will see that the Sphinx have the human head and the animal body. What does that signify? Our ancestors knew that the man or the woman had to be in charge of the animalistic nature in us. But because we allow the animal in us, the animalistic ways in us to manifest and take charge of the higher I am, the man and woman, we happen to manifest and brought, okay, our curse, which is leprosy, okay? Leprosy, the creation of the pale race, that's our curse. You feel me? Because we fell into our lower chakras. I don't know what we did. We must have disobeyed the Most High. We must have did something. We must have not abided by the covenant, whatever it was. But the truth is we fell into our lower chakra, and as a result, it had to manifest physically. So then we manifest the opposite of us that's in our lower chakras. Because that's where all destruction exists. And the key is not to get rid of our lower chakras. It's part of us. The key is to master it. Master it. Don't let it be a slave, but teach it how to be what's called servitude, a servant of the higher self. Hence, that's why the pale people were the first slaves, because we were more in tune with ourselves. Y'all gonna learn. It's all good though. All right, peace and love. Peace and love. Thank you, Tyrone. I appreciate that. No matter if it's the shepherd or the wolf, the sheep is still gonna get eaten. That's true. That's true. As long as you're a sheep, you're gonna get eaten. All right, that's just the bottom line. So stop being sheep. All right, take control of your lives. All right, and when I say take control of your lives, not that you could just do what you want. No, it doesn't mean that. It means that there are laws that was put within our heart and mind. Go within, connect. All right, and live a righteous life. All right. And I tell people living a righteous life doesn't mean you got to be a punk. All right. Nah, it says it in the allegorical Bible, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth for a tooth. Don't hurt me. All right. Because to every action, there's a reaction. You hit me, I'm going to hit you back. Bottom line, point blank. I don't play that. You feel me? But at the end of the day, I'm not going to bring no harm to my fellow man or woman. Okay. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to defraud them. I'm not going to hurt them. I'm not going to do that because I know what it means to be a righteous man. You feel me? So I'm not going to do that. But I don't want anybody to touch me. You could talk as much as you want. You got freedom of speech. Say what you want. Call out my mama name. Oh, I don't do all that. But just don't touch me. When you touch me, now you are stepping into my domain. You are violating you are trespassing on my property. And I am going to defend that, trust me, by any means necessary. And that's a fact. Okay? So being righteous doesn't mean that you got to be a punk. It doesn't mean that you could let people walk over you. That's not what it means. As a matter of fact, you become more of a soldier when you are righteous and know how to move in the spirit. You ain't nothing to mess with because you know there's no such thing as death. So you have already won. And that's what they don't want you to do. They know who we are. So they have to suppress the knowledge of self so that they could continue to allow us to use our energy and put it in all these misguided directions. Self-destruction is the key. And that's what they're doing. But once the information is being put out there, people will learn to raise their vibrations. All right. And we will get back what's ours. I promise you that because it's already written. It's prophecy. All right. So stay up, continue to love. And I will talk to you guys later. All right. Peace. Don't forget, hey, the link is below for the book. All right. Get your copy right now. All right. Peace.